Kada dundu bhayo nedu. Ganga Panavadaya Gandharva Ajabu Gandharva Mukaya Petu Kushum Prachaya Petu Kushuma Prachaya Tada Dundu Bhayo Nidu Ganga Panavadaya Gandharva Mukaya Petu Kushuma Prachaya Petu Kushuma Kada dundu bhayo nidu. Kada dundu bhayo nidu. Vedanga Panavadaya Gandharva Mukaya Gandharva Mukaya Jagabu Petu Kushuma Prashtaya Tada dundu bhayo nidu. Tada dundu bhayo nidu. Vedanga Panavadaya Vedanga Panavadaya Mukaya Pradago Gandharva Mukaya Prajabu Petu Kushuma Satya Petu Kushuma Veshtaya Tada at that time Dundubhaya kettle drums Nidu resounded Mridanga drums Panava small drums Adaya etc. Gandharva Mukhya the chief residents of Gandharva Loka Prajabu sang Petu showered Kushuma flowers Vistaya like rains. At that time, drums and kettle drums resounded from the sky. The chief Gandharvas began to sing, and other demigods showered flowers, like torrents of rain upon Dhruva Maharaj. Sachasvarlokamaroksham Sunitim Jananim Dhruva Anvashmarat Agam Hitva Dinam Yase Trivishtakam Sa he cha also swalokam to the celestial planet Anokshan about to ascend Suniti Jana Janani Mother Dhruva Maharaj Anvasmara immediately remembered Agam difficult to attain Hitva leaving behind Dina poor Yase I shall go Trivishtapam to the Vaikuntha planet. Translation purpose by His Divine Necessity. Dhruva was seated in the transcendental plane, which was just about to start, when he remembered his poor mother, Suniti. He thought to himself, how shall I go alone to the Vaikuntha planet and leave behind my poor mother? Purport. So he is not going to Vaikuntha planet right now. Right? He is going, 36,000 years ago. Dhruva had a feeling of but isn't he okay? So Shweta Deep is going. Dhruva. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Dhruva had a feeling of obligation to his mother Suniti. It was Suniti who had given him the clue, which had now enabled him to be personally carried to the Vaikuntha planet by the associates of Lord Vishnu. He now remembered her. remembered her and wanted to take her with him. Actually, Dhruva Maharaj's mother Suniti was his Path Pradarshak Guru. Path Pradarshak Guru means the Guru or the spiritual master who shows the way. Such a Guru is sometimes called Siksha Guru. Although Narad Muni was his Diksha Guru, initiating spiritual master, Suniti, his mother, was the first who gave him instruction on how to achieve the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is a duty of the Siksha Guru or Diksha Guru to instruct the disciple in the right way, and it depends on the disciple to execute the process. According to Shastric injunctions, there is no difference between Siksha Guru and Diksha Guru, and generally the Siksha Guru later on becomes the Diksha Guru. Suniti, however, being a woman and specifically his mother, could not become Dhruva Maharaj's Diksha Guru. Still, he was not less obliged to Suniti. There was no question of carrying Narad Muni to Vaikuntha Loka. There was no question of carrying Narad Muni to Vaikuntha Loka. But Dhruv Maharaj thought of his mother. Whatever plan the Supreme Personality of Godhead contemplates, whatever plan the Supreme Personality of Godhead contemplates immediately fructifies. Similarly, a devotee who is completely dependent on the Supreme Lord can also fulfill his wishes by the grace of the Lord. The Lord fulfills his wishes independently, but a devotee fulfills his wishes simply by being dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, as soon as Dhruva Maharaj thought of his poor mother, he was assured by the associates of Vishnu that Suniti was also going to Vaikuntha Loka in another. Dhruva Maharaj had thought that he was going alone to Vaikuntha Loka, leaving behind his mother, which was not very auspicious because people would criticize him for going alone to Vaikuntha Loka and not carrying with him Suniti, who had given him so much. But Dhruva also considered that he was not personally the Supreme. Therefore, only if Krishna fulfilled his desires would it be possible. Krishna could immediately understand his mind, and he told Dhruva that his mother was also going with him. This incident proves that a pure devotee like Dhruva Maharaj can fulfill all his desires. By the grace of the Lord, he becomes exactly like the Lord. And thus, whenever he thinks of anything, his wish is immediately fulfilled. It's a nice part. Dhruva was seated in the transcendental plane, which was just about to start. When he remembered his poor mother Suniti, he thought to himself, how shall I go alone to the Vaikuntha planet and leave behind my poor mother? So there are a few very nice points. One point is gratitude. I was saying, either way is okay. Okay, but you are. Few very nice points in that translation and in part. So first point here is gratitude. Gratitude actually comes as we progress in our Krishna consciousness. Gratitude also is a sign of mode of goodness, because mode of passion and ignorance is more like what can I get, and And if I'm getting what I want, then I'm happy. But mode of goodness brings more selflessness. Mode of passion brings selfishness. And the more and more we become selfless, then we can, the less we become self-centric, the more we can see what others are doing for us or have done for us. One time a devotee mentioned about um, the child. Initially he thinks very high of his father. Um, when the child is very small, he thinks my father is the best, my father is greatest. After some time, the child thinks my father is good, others are also good, my father is also good. So many nice people around. Later on, he thinks my father is, my father doesn't understand what I'm trying to say. My father doesn't care about. And and slowly, then when the child gets married, when he takes responsibility, when he becomes a little bit more mature, then the child thinks, actually my father was not so bad. Then later on, he thinks my father was great. So this is how there is a cycle one goes through. um, Likewise, these cycles may go for our superiors also. But Dhruv Maharaj, in his pure stage, pure platform, he was so grateful to his mother. Actually, uh, there is another angle to it, which is loving relationship that Dhruv Maharaj has with his mother. It is said if we can become dear to devotees of the Lord, then our life will become all perfect. Just if you become dear to devotees of the Lord. Bhakti Prabhu Maharaj came and he was mentioning for pure devotees, 21 generations, 21 generations up and down are delivered. And then he said very interestingly, I never heard that before. He said for those who are neophytes, Saraswati Thakur says 7 generations are delivered. I'm like, wow. If for neophytes, I was thinking only for pure devotees only it will happen. Even for neophytes, 7 generations are delivered up and down. There are many stories. Anybody become dear to devotees. This shows that even if one become dear to very beginner devotees, also still they become dear to Krishna. Even beginner devotees. Many stories of how anybody become dear to devotees um, get complete mercy of the Lord. One very famous pastime is dog. Dog became very dear to Shivananda Sen. So Shivananda Sen, the dog went. They didn't offer him food. So then Shivananda Sen was like he was taking the group of devotees. That's how Shivananda Sen would serve Vaishnavas, um, take them to uh, take them to Puri. 200 Bengali Vaishnavas or more, take them to Puri, and he would take care of the boats, the food, the stay, tolls, so many things. Shivananda Sen would take. The dog also joined the party and started walking. Shivananda Sen party. He's also eager to come to Lord Chaitanya. Shivananda Sen made arrangements to specially feed the dog food. Then the dog was missing. Shivananda Sen was talking to the toll people. For many hours he was stuck there. So later on when he came out, he asked in the camp where devotees made a camp nearby because Shivananda Sen was stuck. So Shivananda Sen came back. He asked, where is it? They said, we don't know. So he asked, um, did you cook for him? Did you feed him? And they said, no, we forgot. So Shivananda Sen was not very happy because Shivananda Sen thought Krishna has sent, Mahaprabhu has sent him under my care. So I must take care. A devotee always thinks like whatever comes, Krishna has sent them under my care. I must take care of them. So Shivananda Sen was thinking this Krishna has sent this dog, I must take care of it. So Shivananda Sen sent 5 to 7 devotees to search for the dog. Um, they came back after a few hours and they could not find the dog. So Shivananda Sen became very much concerned. So it is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita. This was very surprising to me. I see it before also. When Shivananda Sen fasted, he was thinking, if some dog comes, they go, and we don't find, we say, fine. Then breakfast comes, we take our breakfast lunch. But Shivananda Sen had such deep concern. See, until we are really, really eager, when do we fast? When we are really eager to get something. Like yesterday, um, Vedana Prabhu was mentioning about His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj. He was mentioning when Maharaj was building this temple in Delhi, um, some obstacle, Kailash, Greater Kailash, huh? East of Kailash. So that time some obstacle came. So then Maharaj took a vow that till the obstacles are removed, I will eat only Loki, nothing else. So I was like, wow. So when do we take some austerity or when we do things like fasting? Like Ekadashi fasting, we know for our spiritual progress. But when do we do some special fasting which is not required? When we really want something to happen and then even in material where people fast, this happened, till that we fast. So he fasted. So how much concern he had for the dog. That concern became the ticket for the dog to be delivered and sent back to it. There is this one song, um, Naratama Korodoya, something like Apanara Bol. There is that last line. So which says, please show the mercy on Narottam that you can say Narottam is yours. Apanara Boli. Such show such mercy that you can say that Narottam is yours. This like praying, please show that mercy to me. So if a devotee says, if you become dear to devotees, and a devotee says, yeah, this devotee is mine, our life is set. And if we become undear, opposite to then our life is spoiled. Like God. So we want to become dear to the devotees. Uh, One devotee said we should collect blessings. Krishna's mercy will naturally flow to us. It is also mentioned here that his mother was actually a pure devotee of the Lord. And uh, Dhruv Maharaj, he got on the plane and then he is like, how can I go? How can I go without my mother? Um, this remind me of this story, um, Kuresh, when Ranganath, Ranganath, I think, he said, I will take you to Vaikuntha. Then Kuresh felt that he's so proud that Ranganath is asking him to take to Vaikuntha without his guru, right? Ravi? Something like that. No, he's like, he cannot. He said first him, then so this is Dasharathi. Hmm. So he was like, he's asking, Lord is asking me to take, but he did mention about my guru. So that means I'm very like, I think the Lord or Lakshmi Devi said him something. Then he's like, they asked me and they didn't mention the name of my guru. So he felt like very like dissatisfied with that. Although he was given the opportunity, like something like I don't remember exact word it's okay. What was that, Prabhu? Mm. 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 Thank you. There is also these connected stories of uh, Shiva's Thakur, where anybody who was connected to him became very dear to Lord Chaitanya. Dhobi, knees, anyway, Dukhi, she was serving the devotees, Mahaprabhu delivered her. Anybody becomes dear to devotees, amazing. And I also remember Prabhuji was one time mentioning Bhakti Tirth Maharaj when he was leaving his body. He said to all his disciples, I am going to make arrangements like for all of you to come back. That also shows, um, like I have seen when like a spiritual master, they have such a high sense of responsibility towards those whom they accepted as disciples. Such a high sense of responsibility. Like um, sometimes I deal Kalakanta Prabhu also spiritual ones. Such a high sense of responsibility. Like this person must, like he always quotes, one should not become a guru unless one can deliver. One should not become a father or like a parent or a husband. So at that level, devotees at that level, like spiritual masters, pure, so such a high sense of responsibility. If somebody goes like, but their sense of responsibility, like much. Otherwise, why would Bhakti Tirth Maharaj says, I am going to take you, make arrangements to take you all back home back to. And Srila Prabhupada also said um, something like, I'll wait and make arrangements, bring me back. But another time he also said that a guru waits, don't bring me. So these spiritual masters, just like how the parents, they take like good sense of responsibility towards their children, feeding, education, do many sacrifices. Likewise, gurus have such a high sense of responsibility. And here, this glimpse is seen in Dhruv Maharaj also. He's like, God, he's feeling bad. How can I go? Prabhupada's first line, he says, through I had a feeling of obligation to his mother. So, so this also shows that how, as disciples, we also should have a sense of obligation. Like, I am indebted. So he's like, Avito Kritagya. There is also, Srila Prabhupada also said, one devotee asked, what you were mentioning, um, you have done so much for us, what can we, how can we reciprocate, how can we pay back? Prabhupada said, you can never pay back. Because what we have received, we can never pay. So Dhruv Maharaj has such like feeling of obligation, indebtedness. And with that, he's like, how can I go without my mother? Amazing. And actually, Suniti was a pure devotee. But when Dhruv Maharaj asked, where is Vishnu? She said, I don't know where to find Vishnu. All I know is people go to forest. So, and what to do in the forest, she didn't say. She said just people go to forest. So it was not like a lot of Siksha was given as such. Actually, Siksha was given by Narada Muni. Like what to do, what process, what austerity, which mantra, where, everything. So they just said they go to forest. And that much, so much obligation for that much. Here, um, Prabhupada says, Dhruv Maharaj knows that Narad Muni is already liberated back to Vaikuntha. So he is not worried about Narad Muni, but he is worried about Suniti, his mother. Also, there is a loving relationship and Partha Darshan Guru. Prabhupada. Prabhupada. Sri Prabhupada also says, sometimes Partha Darshan Guru, sometimes is called Siksha Guru, or they become Siksha Guru. And Prabhupada also says sometimes Siksha Guru naturally becomes Diksha Guru. Like Srila Prabhupada. He came, he trained, then he gave, he became the Diksha Guru, he delivered, took back. Also, Prabhupada mentions here that there is no difference between Siksha Guru and Diksha Guru. I feel like this is um, a very important point. There is no difference between Siksha Guru and Diksha Guru. Because many times, how the mind can trick us. I was meditating on this one. Like Srila Prabhupada always say, na, pure devotees, the spiritual master. So one usually give a very high stature to Diksha Gurus, usually. And then there is this concept of Guru Avagya. Um, and one, one should not see any difference between Siksha and Diksha Guru. Because actually, Shiksha Gurus, they are representative of our Diksha Gurus. And what I feel like the mercy of Diksha Guru will come through the medium of Shiksha Guru. Is it right? Let's, let's so many times it is said Shiksha Guru should be seen on the same level. Then the duty is mentioned of Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru. What is their duty? Prabhupada says their duty is to instruct the disciple in the right way so that they can go back home back to God. And then Prabhupada says Shiksha and Diksha Guru will instruct the disciple in right way, but it depends upon the disciple to execute the process. So then that is like there is a saying like instruction will come from tower, but then we have to we have to follow. Um, there is one example of Kala Krishna Das in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime where he was distracted. He was with Lord Chaitanya. In South India too, he was distracted by Bhattadharis. Um, they would attract followers through like attraction to women. They would use that as a medium to increase their followership. So Kala Krishna Das was attracted and he left the camp of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that time, Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that um, if one is not determined, even a supreme personality of Godhead can. So it is the duty of the disciple to exhibit determination. Because instructions will come, the right instructions will come. But if that disciple or the follower is not determined, then who will take responsibility? One is not determined. So this Prabhupada said even supreme personality of Godhead cannot help if one is not determined. But then what do we do if you're not determined? Right? Many lack determination. What do we do if we are not determined to be able to strictly follow the instructions of our gurus? Um, we can pray. The last thing, wherever we get stuck, the only thing that comes to rescue is dependence and surrender. Pray to Krishna to help. Whatever we like. Krishna also says that those who are sincerely engaged in practicing devotional service, Krishna says, I carry what they lack. So anything we feel we are falling short, Krishna will give that to us. If we are trying to be sincere, He will carry what we lack and He will preserve what we. And last point that Prabhupada mentions is whatever plan the Supreme Personality of Godhead contemplates immediately fructifies. The Lord has this anything He desires immediately gets fulfilled. When He wants universe to be created, He has multifarious energies. His energies is everything. The Lord desires it happens. And when Krishna is described as the only supremely independent, even Brahma, Shiva, even Krishna's expansions are not supremely independent. Even Balramji is also not supremely independent. Even if Balramji wants something, if Krishna wants something else, what Krishna wants will happen. Many stories. Nobody can be said, even expansion of Krishna, Narayan, nobody can be said as supremely independent. Only Krishna is supremely independent. But Krishna can give up his supreme independence for the sake of, out of love for his devotees. Krishna may give up, but that also is his independent will that he may give up his independence. But Krishna is only supremely independent. And here Prabhupada mentions the power of devotees. So Prabhupada says Krishna is supremely independent. A devotee is a devotee also becomes just like Krishna can fulfill any of his desires. A devotee, Prabhupada says, can also fulfill all the desires of devotees also gets fulfilled. A devotee can also fulfill any of his desires, but Krishna can fulfill any of his desires through his energies. A devotee can fulfill any of his desires through his dependence on Krishna, and then Krishna will tell his energies and everything will be executed. So, Ichha Shakti, the Lord has, and the devotee also has, because the devotee is connected to Krishna. And Krishna has Ichha Shakti. So that is like connecting to the supreme power. So whatever Dhruva Maharaj was thinking, that will be executed. Dhruva Maharaj is like, oh, my mother should be delivered. Mother will be delivered. Or this should happen. That whatever, like we see during Srila Prabhupada time also, all of the desires of Srila Prabhupada were fulfilled through his disciples. The disciples took that. Um, but yeah, so devotees are very powerful in that way. Um, that's why devotees are also called as desire fulfilling tree. Desire fulfilling. They can fulfill all our desires. Prabhupada says Krishna could immediately understand his mind. Um, one should take shelter of devotees. Devotees are very powerful. And by the will of our devotees, even if we are unqualified, we can still cross over this Bhava Saga, even if we have no qualification. By the mercy of devotees, by the association of devotees, we can also pull along. Okay, that's all I have. If some devotees would like to add something. Neophyte is Tanishta or this. Yeah. Also a good platform. Yeah. So different. I was speaking with Bhakti Prabhu Maharaj. There are different definition of Kanishta Adhikar. There is Kanishta, 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 Madhyama, Kanishta, Uttama, Kanishta, 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 Kanishta. So the beginning definition of Kanishta is one who chant the name of Krishna once. Right, Prabhu? That's the beginning stage of Kanishta. But then Kanishta, Uttama, Uttama is like he is ready to go to Madhyama. Yeah. He has again Ratnavritti is over and about to be over and is ready to translate to Madhyamadikari. Then he's like Kanishta Uttama Uttama. So there is these are huge, it's a range. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a range. Maharaj also mentions that there are different definitions by our acharyas of the same word. There are variations. Okay, sir, कुछ connected droplets. Thank you very much. If I spoke anything wrong, please forgive me as a humble servant.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Um,
Prabhuji, I have a question, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
What is the question, Mathaji?
Prabhuji, as you say that the Shiksha Guru is same as the Diksha Guru. So it is better to have one Shiksha Guru or many, because for example, if I am stuck with something, if I need some suggestion or opinion, then I should go to different Shiksha Guru or one Shiksha Guru. How to decide that? And because different people have different Shiksha Guru, maybe have different opinion.
Okay, very good question. Siksha gurus can be many, but it is also mentioned that we should have a primary Siksha Guru. So Siksha Guru can be many in a way. We can hear from YouTube. We can receive Siksha from like unlimited places in this world, naturally. But primary Siksha Guru is it is based on how much sense of responsibility they have for us. For example, um, we hear somebody, maybe we hear devotees from YouTube. They may not necessarily come to our rescue when we are in difficult phase, or we may not much interact with them. So we can receive Siksha from many. But what is our priority in our mind? This is actually from one of the book. There is Shivram Maharaj has written a book. The name of the book is Siksha Guru. He wrote a book only on this one topic. So he said it should be based on what sense of responsibility they have upon us. Means like those who are primary, they will take care of. They will be there when we are in need. They are always there for us. So based on that, um, also another point is if we go to different Siksha gurus, um, then we one of the tendency may be if I go to this Siksha Guru, then he may say yes. If I go to this Siksha Guru, he may say no. So rather, let me go to this Siksha Guru. Let me ask him or let me ask. And somehow, if I get my desire fulfilled, then that also shows like we really want things our way rather than we want what Guru and Krishna wants. It's like we really want to get things and we want. So there is a lack of surrender there. Um, it is also mentioned, one devotee told me, we should not ask same question from two different devotees because then we don't want like, okay, I will take 10 instructions and whichever best I want, I'll follow. So these are like very thin lines there. So rather one should have a primary Siksha Guru and one should follow him or her. That is the best. Did I address my?
Yes, Prabhuji. Like, if that primary Siksha Guru, like we should believe in every way, like आँख बंद करके, like we say that we should do that.
We can humbly inquire, open our hearts to them, seek shelter there. Um, we should have a Siksha Guru. And actually, many times I have heard our line is also Siksha line. It's like that's how the whole ISKCON is working actually. Is Siksha. Is that all right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. We'll end here. Thank you all the devotees for joining. For joining. Panchakarmatharupesha Kripa Sindhu Cha Patitan Vishnu Vishnu